The streets of Louisiana are on fire with controversy tonight, and the name on everyone's lips is NBA YoungBoy. The Baton Rouge rapper, known for his explosive lyrics and defiant attitude, has just been hit with a shocking ban. Police have officially barred him from performing anywhere in Louisiana. The move has fans enraged, venues in chaos, and social media in a frenzy. People are asking, why target YoungBoy now, and what are authorities really afraid of? It all started when news broke that law enforcement stepped in at the last minute to cancel one of his biggest upcoming shows, citing security concerns and public safety risks. But fans aren't buying it. They're calling it another attempt to silence one of the most influential and unpredictable artists of this generation. Within hours, protests broke out outside the venue. Fans holding up posters, blasting his music and chanting his name. Videos from the scene show police forming barricades as the crowd grows restless, refusing to leave. The air is thick with frustration, disbelief, and loyalty to an artist who's been fighting the system since day one. People close to NBA. YoungBoy say he's furious, but unsurprised. He's faced bans before, but this one cuts deep. It's his home state turning its back on him. To his fans, this isn't just a performance cancellation. It's a message, a warning. And in true YoungBoy fashion, that silence won't last long. Because if history has shown anything, it's that when they try to shut him down, he only comes back louder. The question now is, how far will this war between NBA, YoungBoy, and Louisiana's authorities go before something truly explosive happens? Chaos erupted across Louisiana as the news spread. NBA YoungBoy, one of the state's most polarizing and powerful figures in rap, has been officially banned from performing in his own home state. Fans are calling it discrimination, others are calling it fear. But one thing is certain, the streets are divided. Police have reportedly declared that any concert featuring YoungBoy would be considered a public safety risk, claiming that his shows attract violence and uncontrollable crowds. But for his loyal fan base, that excuse doesn't hold weight. They see this as another move by the system to keep a young black artist from shining too bright, especially one who's never been afraid to speak his truth. It all started when YoungBoy's management announced a massive concert planned for Baton Rouge, its first live performance in Louisiana in years. Fans from across the South were ready to flood the city for what was set to be a historic night. Tickets sold out instantly. Hotels were booked solid, and the hype was at a boiling point. But just days before the event, police stepped in and shut it all down. Reports say city officials received warnings from law enforcement about potential conflicts. And that was enough to pull the plug. When the news broke, social media exploded. Videos of fans burning tickets and shouting "Free YoungBoy" went viral within hours. Some gathered near the planned venue, blasting his music from car speakers, refusing to let the night go to waste. One clip showed hundreds of people chanting his name in the rain, creating a raw, rebellious energy that felt more like a movement than a protest. Louisiana's streets turned into a stage, and the fans made sure their voices were heard. Meanwhile, local authorities stood firm on their decision. The Baton Rouge Police Department released a statement claiming that past incidents involving violence at rap concerts influenced their choice. They didn't mention YoungBoy by name, but the timing made it clear who they were talking about. "Our responsibility is to ensure the safety of the public," the statement read. "We cannot support events that pose a significant threat." That comment only added fuel to the fire. Because to YoungBoy's fans, the real threat isn't him, it's how the system treats him. They argue that other artists have had chaotic crowds too, yet no one bans their shows. Why single him out? Why ban a hometown hero from performing in the place that made him? That's the question everyone is asking. For many, this ban feels personal. It's a reminder that despite all his fame and success, YoungBoy has always been seen as the outsider, the kid from the streets that the system never wanted to see rise. What makes this even more intense is that YoungBoy had been keeping a low profile lately. After a string of legal troubles and time under house arrest, this concert was supposed to mark his big comeback, a celebration of survival and transformation. His team had reportedly arranged tight security, strict crowd control, and every safety measure imaginable. But none of that mattered. The police said no, and that was that. Sources close to the rapper claim he was furious when he heard the news. One insider said he felt like they did it just to embarrass him, like they don't ever want to see him win in Louisiana. Others say he saw it coming. The relationship between YoungBoy and Louisiana authorities has always been tense. He's been arrested multiple times in the state, and every time he tries to rebuild his image, another obstacle appears. Fans took to Twitter and TikTok to express their outrage. Trending hashtags like #FreeYB, #LetYoungBoy and #Louisiana against YoungBoy. Thousands of comments flooded in from supporters demanding justice, with some even tagging city officials. How you ban a man from performing in his own city? One user wrote, "This is bigger than music. This is control." Others accused local politicians of targeting him to send a message, claiming that they fear his influence because, let's face it, NBA YoungBoy isn't just another rapper. He's a symbol. His music connects with the unheard, the angry, the outcast. He represents a generation that doesn't trust authority, that sees power as something built against them. And that's what makes this band so explosive. The police aren't just stopping a concert, they're trying to silence a movement. As night fell, Baton Rouge looked like a scene out of a movie. Police cruisers lined the streets near the original venue. Fans gathered with phones out, some chanting, others recording the tension. Officers issued warnings for unlawful assembly, but the crowd wouldn't budge. The sound of YoungBoy's voice echoed through speakers, his lyrics about pain, struggle, and defiance filling the air. It wasn't just music anymore. It was protest. By midnight, videos began circulating online showing confrontations between fans and police. Smoke filled the air as small scuffles broke out. Several fans were reportedly detained for disorderly conduct, though witnesses claim the crowd was mostly peaceful. One woman holding a sign that read, "He's our voice," was dragged away by officers, sparking outrage online. Within hours, those images went viral, making national headlines. Now, the story has outgrown Louisiana. Major outlets are picking it up, questioning whether this ban violates free expression. Lawyers have already stepped in, claiming that unless there's a specific threat, the police have no right to prevent an artist from performing. YoungBoy's legal team is reportedly preparing to fight back, demanding accountability for what they're calling systemic targeting. And while the authorities stay silent, YoungBoy's fans are louder than ever. Every post, every clip, every chant outside those barricades carries the same message. You can't silence YoungBoy. Because to his supporters, this isn't just about one canceled concert. It's about respect, about being seen, about fighting back when the system decides who gets to shine. The tension in Louisiana is far from over. The band might have stopped one show, but it's lit a fire that's only growing stronger. And if there's one thing fans know about YoungBoy, it's that he never stays quiet for long. Something big is coming, and this might just be the calm before the storm. Louisiana is on edge as the war between NBA YoungBoy and state authorities escalates. After the shocking ban that stopped his long-awaited homecoming concert, the tension has reached a boiling point. The streets that once sang along to his lyrics are now filled with anger, confusion, and disbelief. Everyone's talking, from city officials to neighborhood kids, because this isn't just about a rapper being silenced. It's about a community feeling stripped of its voice. The police claim they're just doing their job, protecting citizens from potential violence, but fans see right through it. They remember other big events, festivals, country concerts, and football celebrations that drew larger, rowdier crowds without any bans. So why only YoungBoy? Why only now? Many say this has less to do with public safety and more to do with control. They're scared of his influence. One fan said during a street interview that's now viral, "He's too powerful. The kids listen to him more than they listen to them." Inside the city, local business owners are feeling the ripple effects too. Restaurants, hotels, and event staff were preparing for one of the biggest nights Baton Rouge had seen in years. The sudden cancellation cost the city thousands of dollars, and people are furious. One hotel owner told reporters, "We were booked out for days." This was supposed to bring life to the area. Now it's nothing but police tape and protests. Meanwhile, YoungBoy's inner circle is keeping quiet, but leaks from his camp paint a picture of deep frustration. One insider said the rapper feels targeted and humiliated. He's convinced the authorities are using him as an example to keep others in line. According to the source, YoungBoy had planned to make the show a positive moment, a symbol of change after years. A symbol of change after years of being painted as trouble. He wanted to give back to the community, show his growth, and prove he could perform safely without drama. But now that chance has been stripped away. Still, his supporters aren't backing down. Across Louisiana, fans have started organizing unofficial YoungBoy nights, parking lot gatherings where people blast his music, wear his merch, and chant lyrics like their anthems. Videos of these events have flooded TikTok, showing hundreds of people waving green flags, shouting for KT forever, and turning his songs into rally cries. These spontaneous gatherings are now happening in cities like Lafayette, Shreveport, and New Orleans, and authorities can't stop them all. What's interesting is that even people outside of his fan base are starting to defend him. Activists, journalists, and community leaders have stepped in, saying the ban reflects a larger issue: how law enforcement often targets Black entertainers and uses safety as an excuse to silence them. A viral op-ed described it perfectly. When the system fears your voice more than your violence, that's when you know your words carry power. The fear of escalation is real, though. Police are tightening their presence at every rumored YoungBoy gathering, treating them like riots waiting to happen. But the fans aren't violent, they're emotional. They feel robbed. They've watched YoungBoy climb from the streets of Baton Rouge to global fame, only to be told he can't celebrate his success on his own soil. It's personal, it's painful, and for many, it's infuriating. In one particularly emotional moment, a group of young fans stood outside the closed venue holding candles. They weren't protesting, they were praying. Praying for fairness, praying for change. One teenage girl looked into a camera and said, "They think banning him will stop us from loving him. But they don't understand. He gave us something to believe in." That clip alone gathered millions of views, with comments from fans worldwide echoing her words. Behind the scenes, YoungBoy is reportedly strategizing his next move. Rumor has it he's been working on new music, something raw and direct that addresses everything head-on. Those close to him say he's channeling his frustration into lyrics, crafting what could be one of his most powerful projects yet. And if history is any guide, whenever he feels cornered, that's when he hits hardest. His fans are waiting, knowing that his response won't come through interviews or press conferences. It'll come through the mic. But Louisiana's authorities aren't backing down either. They've doubled down on their stance, saying the ban is indefinite and applies to any venue within the state lines. That means YoungBoy can't perform at clubs, arenas, or even private events. It's a complete blackout. To make matters worse, other cities are reportedly considering similar restrictions, following Louisiana's lead. The message is clear. The system wants to contain him. But what they fail to realize is that YoungBoy doesn't need a stage. His audience will follow him anywhere. The irony of it all is that NBA YoungBoy has always represented Louisiana, its pain, its poverty, its pride. His music was born in its neighborhoods, inspired by its struggles. To ban him from performing there is like erasing a piece of the state's identity. "He's Louisiana," one fan shouted in a recent protest. "They can ban his shows, but they can't ban his name." Those words summed up the entire situation, no matter what laws or restrictions they try to impose. YoungBoy's spirit still runs through the veins of his city. Across social media, major celebrities are starting to take notice too. Rappers and influencers have begun weighing in, calling the ban unfair and urging Louisiana to reconsider. Even artists who've had past conflicts with YoungBoy are standing up for him, acknowledging how wrong it is to silence any performer based on fear rather than fact. The conversation is growing beyond Baton Rouge. It's becoming a national debate about freedom, censorship, and what it means to control an artist's voice, and through all the noise. One thing remains constant: the streets aren't quiet. Every night, somewhere in Louisiana, you can still hear his songs echoing through speakers, vibrating through car windows, blaring from neighborhoods that raised him. It's defiance wrapped in melody. Rebellion disguised as rhythm. Authorities might have thought banning him would calm things down. But instead, they've ignited something far bigger than a concert. They've sparked a movement. One that doesn't need permission, one that won't fade quietly. Because when you silence a man like NBA YoungBoy, you don't erase his voice, you amplify it. And right now, his silence is the loudest sound Louisiana's ever heard. As the news of NBA YoungBoy's statewide ban began to spread, the atmosphere across Louisiana grew tense. What started as outrage on social media turned into a full-blown movement in the streets. Fans began organizing impromptu rallies outside local radio stations, demanding answers and chanting "Free YB," while blasting his songs from car speakers. The authorities tried to control the chaos, but the energy was unstoppable. It wasn't just about his show anymore. It was about respect. For many, YoungBoy's rise represented a generation of people who grew up feeling unheard. And now that same voice was being silenced by the system he's been fighting against since day one. Rumors began circulating that the local police department received pressure from higher authorities to make an example out of him. Some even claimed the real reason behind the ban wasn't safety, it was politics. After all, YoungBoy's concerts were known to bring thousands together. And with that came power. City officials, already on edge due to rising tensions among rival crews, feared that any public gathering could turn explosive. But to the fans, that sounded more like an excuse than a reason. They saw it as yet another attempt to control someone they couldn't intimidate. Meanwhile, YoungBoy stayed unusually quiet. No cryptic tweets. No Instagram rants. Just silence, and that made everyone even more curious about his next move. His team, however, wasn't staying still. Behind closed doors, YoungBoy's lawyers were reportedly preparing to file a legal challenge against the city and the police department for what they called unconstitutional suppression of artistic freedom. Sources close to the rapper revealed that he was furious but strategic. He knew that reacting emotionally would give his enemies exactly what they wanted. Reason to call him reckless again? But YoungBoy's fans, they didn't care about strategy. They wanted justice. In Baton Rouge, a group of teenagers was seen spray painting "YB for L" across a concrete wall near the venue that was supposed to host his show. In New Orleans, another group marched through the streets with speakers, blasting his music and shouting his lyrics like battle cries. Clips flooded TikTok and X, showing scenes that felt more like a revolution than a protest. It wasn't about money or fame anymore. It was about pride. Local business owners who depended on concert crowds started voicing their anger too. "Every time he performs here, the city comes alive," one club owner told reporters. Now they're banning him. That's money gone for everyone. The ripple effect of the ban reached beyond fans. It hit the city's economy, its reputation, and its sense of unity. Even artists from neighboring states began speaking out. Rappers from Atlanta, Houston, and Memphis called out the ban, saying it set a dangerous precedent for Black artists who already face systemic barriers. By the end of the week, the city was split in two. On one side were officials calling for public order and caution. On the other side were the fans, who saw the ban as an act of discrimination and fear. And in the middle stood NBA YoungBoy, man who spent his entire career walking that same tightrope between rebellion and redemption. Late one night, a cryptic message appeared on his fan page. "They can stop the show, but they can't stop the truth." Within minutes, it went viral. People started predicting he was planning something huge, a surprise performance, a diss track, maybe even a live stream from an undisclosed location. And knowing YoungBoy, none of those theories felt impossible. But as excitement built, law enforcement doubled down. Police presence increased near his known properties, and word spread that any public appearance could lead to arrest. Still, that didn't stop fans from lining up outside venues that were never officially announced. The energy was uncontrollable, like everyone was waiting for a spark to ignite, and then it happened. A leaked clip began circulating online, showing YoungBoy in a dimly lit studio surrounded by his team, recording what fans believe is a direct response to the Louisiana ban. His voice was calm but sharp. "You can ban me from stages, not from hearts." That one line sent shockwaves through the internet. Within hours, #FreeYoungBoy was trending again. Millions of views pouring in from every platform imaginable. This wasn't just about a rapper and his concerts. It had become a battle for expression, identity, and survival in a system that constantly tried to box him in. Every ban, every headline, every controversy had shaped YoungBoy into more than an artist. He'd become a symbol of resistance. As the dust settled and Louisiana tried to restore order, one thing was clear: they might have stopped the performance, but they couldn't stop the message. NBA YoungBoy had turned a ban into a movement, his silence into a statement, and his struggle into strength. And now the world wasn't just watching him, they were standing with him. Because no matter how many times they try to shut him down, the voice of the streets always finds its way back to the mic. The situation in Louisiana has proven one thing: NBA YoungBoy isn't just a rapper. He's a movement. When the system tried to silence him, the streets spoke louder. His music became the heartbeat of a generation that refuses to be ignored. And his name became bigger than any stage they could take away, whether the band stays or not. His voice has already reached farther than any law could stop. This isn't the end. It's just another beginning. Every time they push YoungBoy out, he comes back sharper, smarter, and stronger. The fans have made it clear: his story belongs to them now. The question isn't if he'll perform again in Louisiana, it's when he decides to. Because when that moment comes, the noise will be too powerful to contain. Keep watching, because NBA YoungBoy's next move might just shake the whole industry to its core.